While exploring British Columbia by helicopter is loads of fun, you will need to get your 2 feet on the ground.
And there's nothing better than driving. You know, the Great Australian Road Trip is actually something that's just as enjoyable right here in British Columbia. You need a map,
A couple of cowboy hats, and you're ready to go.
let's get on the road. We're heading through the town of Golden and up into the mountains to Kicking Horse Mountain Resort. The resort is well known for its skiing in the winter and as a world-class downhill mountain biking venue in the summer, where riders are chairlifted to the start line before enjoying the rush of the descent. How's that for the royal treatment?
Well, the Kicking Horse Mountain Resort chairlift is one way to get up the hill without walking, but it's also a terrific place to get a vista of this region.
And just down the bottom through here, you'll see there's a great big trench actually between two mountain ranges. We're heading up the Purcell mountain ranges, and they're part of the Columbia, the total group of Columbia mountain ranges. But on the other side, that's the Rockies.
This is the Great Divide.
This is the Great Divide. It's a spectacular spot. But what we're doing here is really special.
This is bear country.
20 acres within the resort have been set aside for the Kicking Horse Grizzly Bear Refuge, home to this handsome fellow, Boo. At just 5 months, Boo was orphaned after his mum was shot by poachers, prompting the folks of the refuge to kick off a pioneering raise and release study program that helped Boo survive.
A lot of the program here has been observing and documenting Boo's skill development, and there are dozens of plants growing in his refuge that are good grizzly bear foods, but they're growing among hundreds and thousands of other plants that aren't good foods. Yeah. And Boo's had to learn to distinguish them by himself, and it's very specialized. Some plants he eats only the leaves, others he eats only the fruits, others he eats only the flowers, others he digs up and eats only the underground portions, the roots or the bulbs. So when we began, we had no idea whether that was practical to think that an orphan bear could learn that much skill on its own. But now that we've observed Boo over these many years, we believe they can because we've seen him do it.
Well, Trev, how lucky are we to be up close and personal and within touching distance of a grizzly bear? Well, not that we want to touch it. No.
It is a truly special experience. These are the most majestic creatures. He's absolutely beautiful. And if you're not sure about the difference between a grizzly bear and a black bear, you can see the big hump on the back of his shoulders there. Now, that's all muscle, and it controls those huge arms and massive claws that he's got, which predominantly there for digging. They're just beautiful creatures.
And the blonde hairs on its coat give it a grizzled look. So, grizzly.
Makes sense. It's been an exhilarating morning in the fresh mountain air, and just strolling around has left us with a healthy appetite for lunch. So we're heading further up the mountain, this time by gondola, all the way to the top of the world. After a 15-minute ride up the mountain on the gondola, we have arrived 7,700 feet in the air at the Eagle Eye restaurant, and the view is spectacular and quite unique.
Well, it is. There's 5 national parks in this region that we can see. There's Jasper and Banff, Yoho, Kootenay, and Glacier National Park, which is just a spectacular backdrop to our spectacular food.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Unbelievable resort down there in Kicking Horse. It's everything you want, along with an elk burger.
Well, let's tuck in.
The local cuisine, why not? A new day, a new destination, and the chance to hit the road again in our giant Dodge truck. We're heading northeast of the Rockies Trench to a very special part of the world we've just got to check out. It's tucked away in the magnificent Yoho National Park. Well, Kim, we've come from Golden and we're headed into Emerald Lake.
And driving in British Columbia is pretty simple. I know it's on the other side of the road, so we're driving on the right-hand side of the road. The steering wheel is on the other side that we're used to, but the brake pedal and the accelerator are exactly the same. The roads are lovely and wide. It doesn't seem to matter whether it's a small offshoot road or certainly the highways. Quality is excellent.
The roads are beautifully signed as well, so it's all in English. It couldn't be any easier getting around a country.
Emerald Lake has been a favourite holiday spot for Canadians and their American neighbours for generations. More recently, overseas guests have flocked here to enjoy this serene and truly stunning backdrop because for many, this is postcard perfect Canada.
I've been very lucky to paddle in waters all over the world, but never in anything as pristine and beautiful as this. The turquoise waters of Emerald Lake in Yoho National Park are a must by canoe.
Now, it's not for everyone getting out in the lake in a canoe, but I tell you what, you don't have to, sacrifice the beautiful views here. You can walk around the lake. There's a magnificent walking trail. Hiking here is so much fun, and you get to see the incredible flora and fauna all at the same time. This really is the sort of place where you can unplug and de-stress, especially with accommodation like this lining the shore. With their stone fireplaces, the Emerald Lake Lodge's timber cabins are the perfect place to wind down and enjoy some peace and quiet. The lodge itself is a combination of hunting lodge simplicity and boutique comfort, with some excellent food in the dining room competing for your attention with the superb views of the lake.
Well, what a great place to rest and recharge because after the break, our Canadian road trip continues as we cross from British Columbia into Alberta. Back in a moment.